Three, two, one. We are live. All right. What is up, everyone? Hope you're having a nice and productive week. Welcome back to the Referral Partner Acquisition Show. If you're new to the show, my name is Will Anagnos. I've been working with loan officers for the last 7 years, successfully helping them grow their referral networks to help them grow their business. That's always been our model, not lead generation. Again, if you're new, we're here live every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern. I did miss last week. I do apologize. I had to help out with some family stuff. So, if you ever have questions that you want to ask me for your mortgage business, you can ask me here live. I'm here to answer your questions live at this time. If not, this will be on YouTube in about 2 weeks, so you can comment there your questions as well on our YouTube channel, WA Marketing Solutions. If you find today's episode valuable at all, if it helped you at all, please let us know by slapping that like button. And if you have any questions, of course, you can drop that question down below right now if you want it answered live. If not, I will respond to comments after this is posted. Today, we're going to be talking about objection handling. If you are a loan officer, especially new loan officers, and you're trying to connect with realtors to earn their business, you're probably used to hearing things like, yeah, I'm not interested, beep. Or, I already have preferred lenders. Or, I'm already working with lenders for the last 27 years. Or, I have a list of lenders I already work with. Or, I have preferred lender. I already said that one. Let's think of another one. Uh, I only use in-house lenders. Our company provides in-house lenders. Or maybe you get objections like, not right now. Or my favorite objection, I'll let you know. I'll put you on my list and I'll let you know. Of course, you'll get objections like, I'm not interested. Sometimes you'll get hung up on if you're the fifth loan officer to call them that day. And this is typically happening to loan officers who are calling top producing agents after finding them on realtor.com, MMI, Model Match, Silver Swan, RETR, Reader, or Redder, however it's pronounced. I typically hear most loan officers getting objections when going after top producing agents by finding their information online through softwares and then cold calling them. And unfortunately, you guys are just not trained on how to handle them properly. What I see often is you don't know what to say, you make something up on the spot, and you hang up the phone with a lot of hope. You hope that what they said has any weight to it. This person said they'll let me know. So I'm going to hang on to that. And let's just say that you make 100 calls in a month and a handful of people say, thanks for reaching out and letting me know about your business. These are the people who are nice enough to let you do your little elevator pitch, talk about yourself. But I want you to just use your own experience. Has that led to business? Maybe it has. And if it has, did all of that effort cold calling all these people over and over and over again over a period of time, and this is if you are consistent, which a lot of people are not, was all that effort worth the results? Of course, there are exceptions, but typically, I speak with loan officers every week, and typically the answer is no. I busted my ass calling a bunch of agents. They either gave me bullshit responses, they lied to me about being interested. When I call them a second time, they don't pick up the phone. And if I am lucky, I will get someone to hear me out, but it never leads into anything. Or even if you're luckier, I did book an appointment. But how often does that happen? Now, if it does happen to you and you have some sort of secret sauce, I'm sure people in this group, someone in this group they would love to know that. Please comment below and let us know what you're doing that works. In today's video, I'm going to go over what's working for our clients, what has been working for over 7 years. Objection handling strategies that actually get the person to go from a not interested or a not right now or I'll let you know into, you know what, let's book a call. This may be advantageous for the both of us. It may be mutually beneficial for the both of us. So if you're a loan officer who or a mortgage broker who's calling agents and for some reason that's your strategy, this old-fashioned strategy that's honestly outdated, but if you're doing that and you're getting objections, then today's episode is going to be pretty valuable for you today. So if you are watching live, please comment live down below so I know you're here. If you're watching this on the replay, please comment replay so I know that you watched this later. I'm going to go ahead and show you my screen. It's a objection handling magic scripts document that I've spent the last 7 years making, uh, modifying, because things change. You can't just, nothing works forever if you just keep it the way it is. Things change, so your scripts have to change. And instead of you having to figure out what works and what doesn't, and having to deal with, I mean, especially if you're more of a sensitive type like me, you may get discouraged from making any more calls. You may grow. I know people who have grown just hatred towards the real estate community, the real estate agent community, which is not fair because there are some great real estate agents out there. There are some assholes. There are some great loan officers out there, and there are some assholes. It comes down to people. We're all people. Some are good, some are bad. You get the point. So I'm going to show you my screen, and I hope hopefully you walk away from today's episode with an action plan on what to do when you get objections, whether it's on the phone, whether it's through messaging, whether it's an email, whether it's in person. Hopefully, this makes your life easier moving forward, and you get the appointment, and then you get the referral. But most importantly, you can never get the referral if you never get a position, put yourself in a position to get the referral. And in order to do that, you need to be a master at objection handling. And there are so many objections out there that you'll get in different types of forms. Today's video should solve that for you. So bear with me while I share my screen. Okay. So this is our magic scripts objection handling document. Now I do want to point out there's nothing magic about this. This is just my fun way of titling our documents. There is no magic. There's no magic out there that, if you were to use this script, I'm not saying that 100% of the time I can't guarantee that it's going to change someone's mind, shift their mindset. However, from doing lots and lots of A/B testing, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, this is 7 years of figuring out what works more than anything else. So I do want to uh, provide that disclaimer for you. There's nothing magic here about this, but it does work at a higher percentage than anything else that we've tried. So if you're someone who just kind of freezes up when someone says, send me a lead first, or no loan officer has ever sent me a lead, or I have an in-house lender, or what makes you different? We're going to go through most of this today, and hopefully you guys find some value here. So, if you're working with us, you get this. This is yours, we give it to you. And if you're working with us and we're doing most of the work for you, then this is what our team actually uses to get the results that we advertise on social media and our website and everything. So if you're not sure, who is this Will guy? Does this even work? You can go to our website, wamarketingsolutions.com, and go to the results page and check them out. What I'm going to show you today has, what's the word I'm looking for? It's gotten us to the results that we advertise. This has been one of the puzzle pieces. So When you are, let's just say, for example, you're emailing agents, you're texting agents. This can even be on social media, email, text, all that stuff, just a message format. You always want to follow the ASA formula. Acknowledge what they say. So, how are you? Or I'm good, thanks for asking. State what you want to say, offer beneficial value that provokes a positive reply, and then ask for the appointment. Always end with a question. Trim the fluff, don't act desperate, stand your ground, and be logical. So, let's just go through the first couple. There's like I don't know, 18A. There's more than 18 because some of them go 6A, 6B. So there's like 30 here. We're going to go through maybe 5 today. Let's just start at the top. So, are you a loan officer or a mortgage broker where you're reaching out to agents and an agent goes, "Send me a lead first. I'll work with you if you send me a lead first." Now, maybe you're untrained. If you're untrained, if you have an untrained brain when it comes to objection handling, your immediate gut reaction is probably, all right, I gotta get a lead and send it to them. But the reality is, if you do that, you are creating a transactional relationship. And we all know transactional relationships don't last because you can't provide them leads forever. And the moment you stop giving them something, the moment they're going to stop working with you. All the more reason to teach them how to generate leads instead of giving them one. You don't give a man a fish and he eats for a day. You teach a man a fish so he eats forever. That's the metaphor I like to use here. So if an agent says, "Send me a lead first you have to understand where they're coming from. They get hit up every day. They want more business, even if they're doing great. They just want more. So send me a lead first, and then we'll work together. And they think that that's a logical thing to say, but it's not. And I'll tell you why. I'd love to send you a lead, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor. However, I can't send my clients to someone that I personally have never spoken to. Can we set up a call to make that happen? So if you're reaching out on social media to an agent and they say something like this, then you're going to be like, think logically. I would never send you a lead because I don't even know who you are. I reached out to you because I want to see if we can work together. But could we actually have an appointment? And if you're cold calling them, that's not an appointment. That's a cold call. On that cold call, the goal is to set up a formal one-on-one. So if you get this on the phone, the same rules apply here. I'd love to send you a lead. However, I can't send my client to someone I personally haven't had like a conversation with more than a couple of minutes. Could we set up a formal chat to see how we can work together? And that's beneficial for them because if it's a good fit, and you can't be lying, you have to actually, mean what you say. But if it's a good fit, and for them, this is a phone call with you has been very beneficial. You may be a source of business. Excuse me. Talking nonstop does get your throat a little dry. So again, I'd love to, Mr. Realtor, Mrs. Realtor. However, I can't send my clients to someone I personally have not, I don't know. I personally don't know. And talking to someone on a cold call for 5 minutes is not knowing them. Can we set up a formal call to make that happen? This is a very key part. They said, "I want leads." So you're saying, "I'll send you leads, but like, this is what needs to happen." Could we set up a call, a formal call, to make that happen? That's like the golden nugget right there. Can we set up a call so we can make that happen? Does Wednesday at noon work? Something like that. Okay? If you guys have any questions about these, please drop in the comments down below. I will be monitoring the Facebook group as I just did just now. All right, let's go to another random one. I'm swamped. I'm really busy. Oh, I'm sure you guys get this one. Or, hey, you know what? Try me again next month. The polite push off. A lot of realtors are not going to say screw off. A lot of them are going to give you the runaround. Yes, but let me get back to you. I don't know why that or is there. It's just those three. So if you are ever getting the objection, oh, I'm swamped. Try me again next month. Try me next week. Try me after the summer. Try me after the holiday. Let me get back to you. I'm in the middle of something and they hang up. You want to have next steps. You don't want just to leave it open. Too many loan officers and brokers just leave the call open-ended. And you know what? And if they don't want to do something, then it was never meant to be, at least not right now. So you're going to say, sounds good, will do. When is the best date to circle back? Have a next step. Okay? That was a pretty quick and easy one. Let's go for another challenging one. I have no business. I'm not currently active. I'm part-time. I'm not interested. If they're not interested, that's fine. Not a problem name. I'd love to help someone that you know then. Is there anyone in your circle that you think I should speak to based on my profile? Assuming you're doing this on social media and you've optimized a profile that's attractive to the audience that you want. Maybe not particularly this person. By doing this, you're not just putting your tail between your legs and walking away and saying, oh, why is everyone saying no thanks? Maybe they know someone who's a better fit. Also, this subconsciously lets them know that maybe they're missing out on something. They're checking out your profile, assuming that you've set it up right and it is attractive and it targets exactly them and it displays how you help realtors. They're going to be like, "Oh, I don't want to refer this person to another realtor because I want the help." I, and that I've seen this turn into, you know what, let's chat. I've seen all these generate that. How can I help you? If you guys want anything, if you want me to go over something specific, please let me know and we'll go over that specific one. I'll keep you in mind. I'll let you know. Guys, if any realtor says I'll keep you in mind, just remember they won't. If any realtor says I'll let you know, they won't. And that's okay. But just know that. That's the first step here. A lot of this is mental. And your response could be, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Realtor, thanks for getting back to me. Thanks for picking up. Thanks for the time. How about we schedule a quick formal phone call so we can formally meet. That way you can actually keep me in mind. This objection handling script basically puts the light directly on them. They said I'll keep you in mind. All right, well, the only way you can actually do that is to have a conversation, a formal conversation. That way you can keep me in mind. You're basically making them eat their own words. And this is kind of funny because a lot of people are going to say, I don't want to keep you in mind, which that's the real objection. When they say I'll keep you in mind, that's a polite way of saying not interested. But they're not saying they're not interested. They're saying I'll keep you in mind. So, Mr. Realtor, if that's valid, let's have a call so that you can actually keep me in mind. Because the reality is, in 24 hours, if this is a message on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, this is a phone call, a cold call, they're not going to remember you. They have other things to remember. So if they actually mean it, challenge them. Don't be afraid to challenge them. The ones who are not interested will say no thanks, and the ones that genuinely are, they will. I see it happen all the time. I see it happen almost every week. I have an in-house lender. This one is gold. I see this work all the time. I mean, I see all these work, but this one people love because this is a very common objection. I have an in-house lender. Okay. Now, do in mind, take this script with a grain of salt, but I've seen this work plenty. Hey, Mr. Realtor, I know when it comes to in-house lenders, statistically, they only have a 9% capture rate. Now you're challenging them. which means 91% of borrowers are going to other lenders. Oh, from my experience, it's either because the agent or the buyer wants to use someone else. So it's always good to have options. You are literally winning the conversation with logic. With that being said, would you be open for a chat? And if they were to challenge you, how did you come up with these numbers? You would say something like guarantee rate infinity, Coldwell Banker. That's my source. How do you know that? Because they tried to recruit me. And even if this is not true, you can go ahead and say this because this happens to people all the time that are trying to get recruited. No agent is mandated to use their in-house loan officer. It's a RESPA violation. Remember that, guys. If you didn't know that, they're not obligated or mandated to use the in-house lender. So while a lot of real estate offices have in-house lenders, which is just smart for them, the reality is that there's only a 9% capture rate and 91% go to others. So you having an in-house lender really means nothing. Great, you have an in-house lender. You should have one. That being said, it's always good to have options. And then with the whole context, with that being said, would you be open for a chat? A lot of people are like, oh, you know what? Yeah. Because the market's always changing. People are always changing. It's always good to have options. People are retiring. People are making mistakes. It's always good to have options if you're a smart real estate agent. Let's do one more. I only use local lenders. I provide my clients with. Okay, so this one came up this week, and it actually, I worked with a client on it like Monday. So if you get the objection, and the realtor goes, "Hey, how about this? I provide my clients with a list of lenders that they can choose from if they've not decided one on their own. I'll be sure to put you on that list. If you have any sort of flyer or anything to pass along, I can add that too." What they're offering is silly, but they don't know that. So you're going to tell them in a polite way. What they're saying is, I don't know you, you're a stranger, but I'll put you on my list for people to choose. That's really risky because if you're a bad loan officer and you're on someone's list and then they give out that name and then you mess up the loan, they're going to get mad at you and mad at themselves that you were even on that list in the first place. So you don't want them to sabotage themselves. What they're offering, they don't realize is actually a bad idea. So you can say something like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, it's great that you let your clients choose their lenders. As an honor as it would be to be on your list, I don't want to be just a stranger on a list. Can we set up a quick call just to put a voice to the name? That would make me officially on your list. And you can modify this to say something like, I don't think it's a good idea because let me rephrase. It's great that you let your clients choose your lenders. However, and you can be funny about this. If you're a funny guy, you can be like, you don't know that I can mess up loans. And you want to know who's on that list? I sure would want to know who's on my realtor list. I would never offer a list of realtors that I have never spoken to my clients to reach out to. That's just too risky for my business. Can we set up a call and put a voice to the name? That would make things more official. And a lot of agents go, you know what? That's a good freaking point. I don't want to make any mistakes. Let's set up a call. And even if nobody wants to set up a call with you, that's actually a good thing. You would rather get a no than a fake maybe and hold on to it, hoping that that person will let you know, will follow up with you, will get back to you, is interested, but they're truly not. It's really important to get clarity. And if you don't get clarity, then you can't move on to the next person. And we all know with follow up, and we all know with the numbers game, if you get 10 no's, you're one step away from getting that yes, that getting the right person, getting the right realtor. You don't want to work with just anyone. You want to work with people who are the right fit. And so these handling scripts not only get you a yes, but they also get you a no, like a certain no, not like a, beating around the bush no, like an actual no. And getting no's are so ideal because you can just move on. Put them in a follow-up for 3 months, put them in your system for a follow-up and then move on. It saves you stress, it saves you time, it saves you heartbreak. It just saves you from being discouraged from, doing this job in the first place, especially if you're doing all this on your own. If you're working with us, then you have to worry about a lot of that, but a lot of you guys are not. So, that's all for today's episode. If you guys found this valuable, please let me know in the comments down below. If you want this document that I shared with you, you can go to our website, wamarketingsolutions.com, go to the resources tab, the objection handling scripts option, and you can download it for free. I'll actually link it down below in the comments. Again, my name is Will Anagnos. I've been helping loan officers for 7 years straight, 7+ years at this point. And if you need help, I got your back. Okay. When it comes to acquiring referral partners, follow up, acquisition, um, mindset, objection handling, follow up scripts, follow up strategies, sequences, automations, and even using AI, but only when it makes sense because it doesn't always make sense. Okay. I love you guys. Thanks for being here with me, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of the Referral Partner Acquisition Show. Have a good rest of your week.